Welcome to the Arsenal show. We are live and it's the post-match reaction to Arsenal's 3-0 loss to Crystal Palace. Yeah, as you can see there, a devastating loss at Selhurst Park. Let me see what you're thinking about in the comment section. Right now, I feel very deflated. Arsenal didn't really get started. When they did start to kick on in the game, which was very, very late on in the game, it just wasn't good enough. There was no cohesion. The passing was off. It was one of them nights that we have to forget. But right now, I've got the painful task of giving my thoughts on the game and the post-match reaction and player ratings. So before we kick on, if you are new to the show, please press that subscribe button, press that like. Appreciate the support. If you are watching on Twitter, come over to KS1 TV, press that like and subscribe and join the chat. If you're on Facebook, come over and join me now in the chat as well. Make sure you change your settings so we can see who you are as well. So first of all, there's no Kieron in the team. Aaron Ramsdale started. Gabriel, Ben White, Cedric, who's also been in good form along with the rest of the back four. There was also Granit Xhaka, Thomas Partey, Odegaard, Smith Rowe. He opted for instead of Martinelli. Saka started, and Lacazette started. So altogether, a pretty strong team. The Martinelli for the Saka for the Smith Rowe for the Martinelli. It's by the by. They're different types of players, but Smith Rowe's been one of our top goal scorers this season. He's been very good this season, and there's no reason why the manager wouldn't start him. Too many of our players had an off night, Johnny says, at the same time. Yeah, it's true. I was trying to find some shining lights in the game, but there's hardly any, or if any, at all. So let's get on to the player ratings. I want to hear what everyone else has got to say. What's your thoughts? Oh, wrong one there. Boom, boom. Yeah, on the Arsenal Show Twitter. If you are on there, make sure you join us now. Get your player ratings in. All right. So first of all, Aaron Ramsdale. Aaron Ramsdale. There was a few shaky moments from Aaron Ramsdale. I can't really say he was trying to think of the goals, penalty, the Mateta shot, and who was the other one? The other one was Andre Ayew. I can't really say Ramsdale was at fault for them. He did, however, concede 3 goals. I can't give him more than a 6. I'm struggling. I'm thinking maybe a 5, but is that just because he's conceded the 3 goals? Didn't do too much wrong. Passing was okay. I'm going to give him a 5. Ramsdale gets a 5 for me. He's wasn't too bad, but I'm not in the mood for giving people any ratings just for the sake of it today. I'm pretty gutted by that loss. It was a game which was always going to be hard. If we came out of it with a draw, it would have been one of them ones, and we would have thought, do you know what? That's a good draw. I'll take that draw. But the loss was it was horrible. It wasn't a nice way to lose either. Yeah, I see, Johnny, you give Ramsdale a 6. I can't really argue with that. Again, I'm just thinking, what did Ramsdale do? And for me, he didn't do anything. So I'm giving him a 5. Gabriel was off today. He was off. He was stinking out the place in the first half. He has them moments where sometimes he feels like he's going to lose his head. He has them moments where sometimes he dwells on the ball a bit too long. He forgets. He doesn't look around him quick enough. Like just before he's getting that ball, he's not had that little look around him to see if there's anyone on. Is that communication from his centre-back partner that has to be better there? Maybe. But you've got to be a lot more aware. This kid has the potential to be a proper world-class defender of his style. So a big brute of a defender, half decent pace, athletic, good in the air, can pass the ball, can spray a ball. He has that potential, but he was off tonight. Gabriel, I'm gonna have to give you a 4, mate. You were stinking out of the place, and you didn't really recover from it too well either. Ben White, I mean, he was a little bit better than Gabriel, but not too much better. Also got caught on the ball a couple of times. Got pulled about the place a few times as well. He just was not. He was just not great either. But better than Gabriel. So I'm going to give Ben White a 5. It did also feel at times that Ben White was trying to look for that ball, but he just wasn't on. So I don't know whether Saka was getting marks out the game and then opportunities with Lacazette, who was absolutely dog rough tonight. Whether he wasn't making the right runs to give him an option. But I usually we're used to seeing a lot more of them 40, 50 yarders from Ben White, but we just didn't. So maybe Patrick Vieira was wise to it. What's Johnny saying? Ben White gets a 5 from Johnny. Tavares or Cedric. I'm going to start with Cedric. Cedric. Now the thing is, I've seen a few people already giving pelters to Cedric, but I'm not too sure, I'm just not too sure Cedric was that bad. He wasn't great. And in that first half, when I was actually looking for some sort of ray of sort of positivity to take out the game, it was probably more the fact that Cedric, in fact, I actually did mention it once. I said Cedric of our players is not playing too bad, and then he done this pass where he won the ball and he passed it straight to a Palace player, and I was like, well, that takes that down. Back down, talking absolute rubbish there. He got taken off early for tactical reasons. What do I give Cedric? Do I give Cedric a 5 or do I give him a 6? Do you know what? I think 6 is going to be my best ratings today. Was he Arsenal's best player? I mean, we're clutching at straws, really, aren't we? I'm going to give Cedric a 5. I don't think he was awful. He wasn't awful, Cedric. But I'm not. Nah, there was too many times where Cedric was doing something okay and then gave the ball away. Again, this is not a pelter at Cedric because I don't think he was that bad. I just think I'm not giving 6 is going to be my top score, and that's probably going to go to one of the subs, mate. Nuno Tavares said it within about 5-10 minutes, not even 10 minutes of the game, 5 minutes of the game. Nuno Tavares is way off today. He was way off. He couldn't get the ball out of his feet. When he tried to make a simple pass, it was going to bobble into people. When you're doing your simple pass and people are fizzing it, and the pass that comes from you comes with a bubble every time, you ain't on it. And then the ball's in his feet, he's getting it under his feet, he's trying to get out, and there's no one around him. And it's like he's panicking. He knows he's not Max Sharp. Was he worse than Gabriel? Yes, he was. Tavares, he gets a 3. There's no point for me in talking too much about Tavares tonight. Still a young player, still got a lot of potential, still very raw. He had a good stint in the absence of Kieron at the start of the season, but it was a good stint. And towards the end of that time, my thoughts on that was that Tierney is the number one left back, and Tavares has still got a lot to learn because in those big games under a lot of pressure, he can get caught. He can get caught, and then there's those decisions that he needs to make in and around the opposition's box. his decision making needs to fix up there as well. So, but he didn't really have much of that today anyway. So that's by the by. But yeah, Tavares today, poor, gets a 3 from me. Johnny gives Tavares a 4, and he gives Cedric a 6. Granit Xhaka. Xhaka. How was he today? He was trying. He's not a number 8. He's not a number 8. I don't care what anyone says. He's doing a job there, but doing a job is not the bar for where Arsenal need to be. But he's not playing bad there. He's not a long-term option. But right now he's the only option. He didn't have a great game. He didn't have his worst game. He didn't have a great first half. He really didn't have a great first half. Partey was poor. Xhaka was poor. In the second half, Xhaka looked a lot better. He was trying. That's one thing he kept on doing. He kept on trying to probe, kept on trying to make things happen. But there was nothing working anywhere. So again, I'd probably say Xhaka's probably in the same bracket as what Cedric was. There was moments where he looked all right. There was moments where he was just average. And yeah, there was it's hard for Xhaka to give him sort of any great because he's not a number 8. So even on a good game, unless he pulls out a couple of worldy assists and a couple of goals, you're not getting the best out of that position because he's not got a right foot. So when it comes up to opening up, he's generally looking to his left, or he needs a little bit more time to swing it out and sweep it out onto the right hand side. So I just think we just need another option there. So yeah, Granit Xhaka, not great tonight, but not the worst. Thomas Partey, not good at all tonight. I don't know at what point he got his injury, but yeah, he couldn't get his passing together, couldn't get into the game at all. Yeah, he was not good. Do you think Partey was genuinely injured or something else? Oh well, from that statement, Johnny, I feel like you thought it was something else. The thing is, I don't know if you looked at the last game that Arsenal played, and it was it Watford? The last 5 minutes, Partey pulled up, but he didn't come off. So I do wonder how whether there's something sort of not too serious, but if you're having one of them games where you're chasing shadows, that's when the injury starts to set in. So I do worry about Thomas Partey with regards to there's no options. There's no other options in that midfield. So yeah, I do worry a little bit about Partey in that position. But I genuinely think it was an injury, Johnny. I'm giving Thomas Partey a 4. It could have been a 3. But no, I'll give him a 4. Oh, Martin Odegaard. Honestly, Martin Odegaard, that's one of the worst I've seen him play tonight. He was not good. Martin Odegaard's all about his crisp class passing, his vision, his dribbling, his ability not to lose the ball, not to lose possession, not to be wasteful. And he was all of them. He was wasteful. His positioning was there. Sorry, but his vision. It seemed like every time he tried to make that cutting ball, it was always coming off a Crystal Palace player, or it was just short, or it was just over, or he was not good tonight. And when Martin Odegaard's not good, look, you could have a Thomas Partey that's not having a great game. You could have a Xhaka that's not having a great game. You could have a Gabriel that's not having a great game. But when you start to lose the players that make the team tick, yeah, when you've got all of them that are not kind of at the races today, and you've got Odegaard way off, then you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. And especially when he's got people in front of him who are doing their best to make sure Arsenal were kept at a poor standard tonight. Martin Odegaard passing off. He's not had many of these games. In fact, I don't think I've seen him had a worse game in an Arsenal shirt. Yeah, for me, gets a 3 because I expect a lot more of him. It's wastefulness. It's what Partey was doing in the first half. So wasteful, giving Crystal Palace the ball back when Crystal Palace didn't even need to be given the ball back tonight. They could have taken it off of us every single time, but we gifted it to them. We absolutely gifted it to them. Before I continue, if you are watching on Twitter, make sure you come over to KS1 TV and press that like and subscribe button. Hit the link on the page and come and join us live. All right. Odegaard. Yeah, I've given Odegaard a 3. Judge me all you want, but I thought he was disgracefully poor tonight. Disgraceful is a harsh word. There's no need to use that word, Kiers. Too harsh. He was just poor tonight. Everyone has them games. I'm not going to dig Martin Odegaard out too much because he's been brilliant this season. And no one was on it. No one was on it to even rescue. You know, one of them games where everyone's just poor and you just need that one player who's going to just pick up the ball, take the game by the scruff of the neck, and win it for you. And there was just no one that wanted to do that tonight. Emil Smith-Rowe. Another one. He was having an absolute mare tonight. Emil Smith-Rowe was just not good tonight. Not good. Off the pace, poor touches. One thing that you're always going to get out of these players is energy. So I don't want to hear about he put in a shift or he tried. He kept trying. Okay, that's valiant, but we need quality above that. And Smith-Rowe was not good tonight. What could I give him? 3's too harsh. 4 seems a little harsh. Maybe a 5, but I'd give him a 4.5 if I could. Because he just weren't good. He weren't good. But he kept trying. Go on, I'll give him a 5. I'll give him a 5. He was not good tonight, though. Smith-Rowe. Yeah, poor tonight. Saka. Okay, that's Saka tried. Saka tried, and he was trying to probe, and he was trying to get in between the full backs and the centre backs. He was trying to get the ball in the box. Yeah, Saka weren't horrendous tonight. He just had no options. He had nothing for him. Lacazette was non-existent tonight, and when he was existent, he was poor. His touch was poor. His movement was poor. His hold-up play was poor. Oh, and I'm not even talking about Lacazette right now. I'm talking about Saka. Yeah, I'm going to give Saka a 6. I'm going to give Saka a 6 because he was better than Smith-Rowe. He was better than Xhaka. He's better than Cedric and White and Ramsdale. At least there was some drive there. That's what you need, some drive. And we got a little bit of that from Saka, but he's not getting let off because he's part of this team, and it simply was not good enough tonight. And Saka's got to be a part of that, so he's not getting let off either. Yeah, frustrating, very frustrating night as you can tell. Alexandre Lacazette. Where do we start? It feels like every time we turn around and say Lacazette, maybe we do contemplate giving them an extra year. Maybe we do think about, oh, actually, this guy could be a transition striker for next season for the new player to come in, because it could be a bit too much for the new player to come in and have to hit the ground running. But no, Lacazette, look, I do everything you can to get us in that Champions League, mate. But after that, it's just got to be one of them big standing ovations on his final game of the season. Been a not just a good servant, a great personality. From the little celebrations and all that. His stuff with Aubameyang. That's entertainment. That's what we pay for. That's what we want as Arsenal fans. But he's done his time here, and it's always been that with Lacazette. It's always been that not quite enough, and that's always disappointing. You never want to be a not quite enough. He's never going to be in a conversation of Arsenal greats. He's never going to be a conversation of top Arsenal players, because he just wasn't that. He's just not done that to get us over the line in anything of what I can remember. Has he ever got us over the line to get us top four? Has he ever got us over the line to win us a trophy? Has he ever got us? I can't remember. And I'm talking about cup final goals and things like that. I can't. I'm off the top of my head. I can't remember, but I just don't think. And that's the kind of player he's been for Arsenal. Tonight it was poor. Movement poor. Touch poor. Hold up play poor. And this is your game. This is what your game has been. We're not even asking for goals anymore from you, Laka. We ain't even asking for goals from you anymore. We just want you to hold up the ball, play it into the forwards, and be another option. Be a body so that you've got to draw away defenders or have them think about. But they don't even think about you as a threat around the box anymore. Oh, he stunk out the place, man. He gets a free for me. Oh, he was awful tonight. Awful tonight. Oh, yes. Sorry, but it's frustrating. Horrible game to have to watch. To have to do all of this on. There we go. Gabriel Martinelli. There we go. So Gabriel Martinelli came on absolute energy, bundles of energy, trying his best to sort of get involved, trying his best to make something happen. And I thought he was. I think Martinelli came on tonight and done enough to start over Smith Rowe in the next game for me. Because I think what you get with they're two completely different players. You've got a number 10 stroke forward left, AM left, that's playing in Martinelli's position, whereas Martinelli is a forward left winger. And you're getting a different type of player. You're getting a lot more pace. You're getting a lot more power. You're more direct. It's more aggressive. And I think that's what you got in on the other wing with Saka. And I think that Martinelli complements Arsenal's team more with his style of play at the moment. And I thought Martinelli came on and was really good. Not really good. Really good's just well over the top. Again, well over the top. I'm not doing this tonight. Martinelli gets a 6 before I carry on and start fucking getting into 7s and all that. He gets a 6 because he didn't score, didn't get an assist, but he was a good energy and he was good. He was doing what Saka was doing. And trying to make something happen, trying to run at the defenders to make them think, to get them on the back foot, to get them on their heels. And that's what you got to do when you come on. That's what you got to do as a striker. That's what you got to do to be a threat. Johnny gives Laka a 4. He gives Saka a 6. And he says, do you think this young Arsenal team was intimidated at the start of the game by the atmosphere at Selhurst Park? Now, I can tell you myself, I've been to Selhurst Park many a time, and that Ramsdale end is fearsome. But it's not just that end either. There's all sections of the crowd. Yeah, Crystal Palace fans, they're top. They are. They're one of the most passionate in the league. They're banging on the window. They make the stadium rock. They seriously do. They make that stadium rock. So good on them. And for all Arsenal were poor tonight, Crystal Palace were brilliant. Crystal Palace were excellent. This wasn't just a bang average Crystal Palace team that pulled us apart and not only matched us for energy and determination and will to win, they beat us at every single stage. First ball, second ball, third ball, everything. They absorbed the atmosphere of the crowd and played with it. Wilfred Zaha was brilliant tonight. Mateta, whatever his name is, Mateta was brilliant tonight. A bully. But I tell you what, even if that was Christian Benteke, still would have been the same. Still would have been the same because Arsenal can't handle them sort of strikers. And Patrick Vieira knows that. Arsenal can't handle them bullies. Intelligent bullies, not just someone who's a lump who just wants to try and stamp on people's ankles and stuff like that. Like intelligent bullies. Arsenal can't handle them. Drogba's. I can't believe I'm calling Benteke an intelligent bully. Crazy. Eddie Nketiah came on, hit the crossbar. Tried, but it's Eddie. Eddie. I'm going to give Eddie a 5. He hit the crossbar. He wasn't terrible. He tried his best. Who else came on? Sambi Lokonga. What can I say about Sambi? He worries me every time he comes on because I always think he's going to do an absolute clanger of a pass in a dangerous area. And he done one what I thought was going to be because Ramsdale was way off the ball and he passed it back to the goal, but it was no danger. But Sambi's got a good player. He's got good potential. Look, he came on as a 5, goes off as a 5. He didn't really do much. Didn't really do much wrong. He was on for 15 minutes replacing for Partey because Partey was injured. So, yeah, it's what it is. What you got? So, did Gabriel bottle it? In what sense, mate? In what sense? So, did Gabriel bottle it? Are you talking about Gabby Michaelis? In what sense? Eddie gets a 4 and the Kong gets a 5. Hey, Johnny, give Eddie a 4 at the crossbar, mate. That would have been an absolutely unreal goal. Mikel Arteta. Oh, certainly don't get a fucking 10. I'll tell you that for nothing. Mikel Arteta. Okay. Starting lineup. Personally, I start with Martinelli over Emil Smith-Rowe. But do I deduct points for that? Maybe. It's opinions in it. However, if you're trying to do it in the best way to make sure you're getting the best out of your players and they've got that competitive edge, do you just bring in Martinelli off the back of Arsenal winning with Smith-Rowe in the left midfield? I don't think that's fair. So Mikel Arteta's done it this way. He's done it this way, and Martinelli kept his shirt. But did Smith-Rowe do enough tonight to keep his shirt? I'll ask you that question. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Yeah, I would have started Martinelli, but I can't really take too much of him for that. The start of the team was poor. This Arsenal team this season has been well known for starting with a lot of energy, a lot of pace, a lot of intent. But today it was just flat, and that's what it was like last season when we was in really bad form. We started off flat, and I'm sure Mikel Arteta is saying all these things. So that's one thing that's been really good to hear from Mikel Arteta after a loss, after a not the greatest of results. He comes out and he points out all the things that he knows are wrong. He's not trying to hide behind the other team. He's not trying to hide behind silly refereeing decisions too much. Only when it's close games when we've actually played well. But yeah, it was poor. There was no intensity at the start. We couldn't. There was no, and then from that there was no cohesion. If you're going to let a Palace team at home on a Monday night underneath the lights, bods have been beard up for a while. They've got that. You know what I mean? They've got that oomph in them. If you're going to allow Palace to get into the game and start with a slow pace with lack of intensity, that's what you're going to get. And not too much changed after half time either. Palace came out just as enthusiastic as they did in the first half at the first whistle, and they continued that throughout the game. They kept a discipline that we never had from start to finish. Hence the 3 goals. Martin Odegaard with the final one, reminiscent of the penalty he gave away against Man United last season. Again, not going to dwell on that too much because Martin Odegaard's been phenomenal this season. However, with 20 minutes to go, 15 minutes to go, Arsenal players start to lose their heads as well, throwing in like not slide tackles, but them sort of nonchalant kicks, swinging at the ball and sort of chasing shadows. The subs, Martinelli came on early. He tried to make a difference, going free at the back. So he was trying. Again, it boils down to the lack of options that come off the bench afterwards. So Mikel Arteta today, for me, 3-0 loss, didn't do anything. Mikel Arteta made the subs that he made weren't the bad subs. I'm going to give him a 5 today. Not great today at all. No one gets man of the match. It's not even worth it. Not even worth talking about man of the match for an Arsenal team today. It was dog rough to watch. Before we do go on, please hit that subscribe button. Please press that like. Let me know what your thoughts are on the game. Is this a worry for you? Do you worry that this could derail our season? Let's not forget that we are still level on points with full spot, the Spuds, them mugs down the road. We are level on points with them, with a game in hand as well. So, but that game in hand, let's just pretend that game in hand's against them. No, that don't work like that, does it? Because we ain't got a game in hand then. It's against Man United. Is it Man United? Or is it Everton? Who's that game in hand? Is it Everton? We postponed the Everton game and the Tottenham game, didn't we? So, yeah, it's going to be tough. We've got a tough run. But my thoughts were we have to win these next 3 games, which were Crystal Palace, Southampton and Brighton, and it started off badly. So, is it the curse of the manager of the month? Who knows? I hope not. We'll go more in depth about this tomorrow, but let's go to the comment section. Was he bullied by the striker? Yeah. Oh, is that what you're saying by bottled it? Yeah, I wouldn't say bottled it, Johnny. I wouldn't say bottled it because Gabriel's not one, doesn't bottle things, does he? He's sometimes he loses his head. Like, I think sometimes Gabriel would rather get into a UFC ring and try and drop some powerhouse signed roundhouse kicks rather than play the game. So I wouldn't say he got bullied. It's just the tough strikers. They know how to get a tune out of our defenders. They know that certain defenders will want to get involved, so they're going to be moving here, moving there, getting involved in that, which is then leaving people like like Mateta, whatever his name was, done that perfectly tonight. Done it perfectly. Everything he done was. Yeah, he made sure that he was holding up the ball well. So I wouldn't say he bullied Gabriel. I wouldn't say he bottled it. I just think Gabriel just didn't have a good game today. He just didn't have a good game. He was off the pace, off the ball, not good. Jules, I don't think I've seen your name in here before. Make sure you press that subscribe button. Appreciate that. What you're saying. No Arsenal player tonight should get more than a 4. Tavares 0. Honestly, Julius, I was close to it, mate. Very close to it. But I had to take a step back. Tavares, stinker for me tonight. So yeah, no, I was close to that. But I opted against it, mate. Arteta 5. He can't do anything about all the team having a night off night. So what do you give? Oh, is that what you're giving him? 5. I thought you was calling out my 5. I was thinking, what are you going to give him then? Look, Johnny. He puts out a team as well, though, doesn't he? Yeah. They had a night off, but look, when the team is having a night off, you've got to take that in 45 minute intervals. So if they've had a poor first half, you've got to make sure they come out the second half, win the second half. They didn't do that. So for me, you've lost two battles. First half was a 2-0 loss. Second half was a 1-0 loss. And they didn't really come out and do much in the second half, did they? So you've got to look at the manager and ask what was said in that change room. What was the tactical things that he'd done to make a difference? It didn't make a difference. So it's not being too harsh on Arteta. I don't think. I think it's just my honest opinion on that one, mate. And it looks like you've given him a 5 as well. Eagles shat on us from a great height tonight. Fair play. They looked good. They did, mate. They plucked us out with their eagle-like claws, soared over Selhurst Park and dropped us on a rock, mate. Absolutely split us to bits all over the gaff. It was embarrassing. And it's not anything that I didn't expect from Crystal Palace itself. But we need to be better than that. Tonight we played a 4 overall, if that. And against Crystal Palace away from home, you need to be playing an 8 to get a 1-0 win. You play a 7 in this game, it's touch and go. Is it a 1-0 win or is it a 0-0 draw or is it a 1-1 draw? And you're kicking yourself because you could have got something out of it. To win against Palace away from home, you've got to be playing at an 8. And we was nowhere near that, mate. We was nowhere near that tonight. I think he was bullied mentally, not physically. Yeah, and that's part of it, mate. That's part of it. Remember Gabriel Paulista? Really, really good defender. It's like the Brazilian Martin Kieron. He would not get physically bullied by anyone, but mentally, he'd lose a game. He'd lose a game. When he come up against Diego Costa, he lost the game. Not physically, mentally, like you said. Without doubt, he was going to get a red card. And that's what I feel like Gabriel was going to get to at some point. If this game was still going now, Gabriel's off the pitch. It seems like maybe, hopefully, he's turned the corner with his mentality in those moments like that, because he was on a yellow card, weren't he? And it did feel like they were trying to dig it in to get him to bite, and he didn't. So maybe I should give him credit for that, but we lost 3-0, so he's going to get credit for nothing. So yeah. All right. I think that's enough of me. You've heard waffling tonight. Make sure you do join us tomorrow. We are going to be going more in depth about this game. We have to. We'll also be talking about, what's the other talking points? Oh yeah. Jerome's going to be on tomorrow. He's going to give his opinion on Cody Gakpo of PSV, the winger there that Arsenal were linked with. We're also going to be talking about a couple of other links to Arsenal, players that Arsenal were linked with, whether they would be good for the squad. And yeah, I mean, I could probably spend all night speaking about this game and what impact it has had on us going forward. Also, yes, we didn't get to talk about Saliba last week and his comments as well. So I think we should touch on that. So make sure you join us tomorrow at 8 o'clock on KS1 TV. If you are joining us for the first time tonight, please press the subscribe button. If you're on Twitter, press that. Come over to KS1 TV, smash the link in the comment section or smash the link that's on the page. Join us in the show. Press that subscribe. I think we're about 9 subs away from 1K. Let me write that in there. So if you are watching on Twitter, here we go. 9 subs away from 1K. Come join us. Yeah? Boom. That looks awful because I've done one big letter, one small. So there we go. That's better. Boom. 9 subs away from 1K. Come join us. Come and show your support. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. There's a lot of regulars in here, all top people. We've got plenty of shows. There's the Arsenal shows, the Man United show, not for you Arsenal fans. Yeah, I mean, you don't want none of that. You don't want that. But we've also got the Transfer Exchange show, which we'll be picking up a lot more soon. Obviously, the transfer window's coming up. We're going to have plenty of Arsenal transfer news. Obviously, if you check out there, the Transfer Exchange show were rated top 5 most credible Arsenal sources when it came to Arsenal transfer news. That was in the same conversation as people like Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein. I mean, how good's that? How good's that? You've been put in the same category as those. So yeah, I appreciate the support from you early adopters. I'm going to call you. If I could give a prize to all of you, I would, but I can't afford it, so it's not going to happen. Yeah, Johnny, appreciate the support. Thank you for joining us tonight. Julius, thank you for joining us tonight. Appreciate the support, mate. Who else was in there? Who else is there? No one. All right. Thank you for joining us, people. Peace out. Stay safe. And wash your hands.